forget
to subscribe
to Sharon's
and see.
Favorite server. Oh,
Showtime.
hey! Myth.
Don't forget to subscribe to sharonatsea channel. Thank you.
Hello.
Good evening.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday Night Live with the one, the only Sharon from Sharonatsea Travel and her trusty sidekick, me. I'm Jamie. Is that too ridiculous? That was ridiculous. Okay, I apologize for that. How's everybody doing? We hope you're doing well. Can you hear us? Can you see us? Are we coming in loud and clear? Let us know in the chat. Let's see if anyone is even in the chat tonight. I see a few familiar faces, a few names. I see a few folks in blue out there. Nautical Nurse Nancy, hello.
Nancy.
Lovely to see you, Nancy. I know that you and Nancy are feverishly, well, you're not feverishly now, but you soon will be feverishly getting all the plans and details for the big girls cruise going on.
Yeah.
Right? So that is going to be very exciting. This is your second girls cruise, and it's going to be bigger and better than the first one. Is that what the word on the street is, Sharon? Bigger and better?
Well, let's hope so, I guess.
Okay. All right, good. And then we'll see if our girl Regal Princess, the other member of the blue team, comes in here as well. But lovely to see you. Yes, Nancy is looking forward to some scheming. Nancy's always up to something, isn't she? She's always scheming. She's always up to no good.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you all. Lovely to see
Some
everybody.
planning going soon. I know she's busy. She's got some weddings and things going on with the kids.
She's unloading all that dead weight over there at her place, getting the kids the heck out of there so her and Anthony can just take it easy from here on in.
Oh my gosh.
So that's good. Nice to see everybody tonight. Sharon, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you doing good?
I'm doing
So we've been back from our Regal Princess cruise now for how many days? Has it been a week and 2 days now? Less than that. Well, we got back on Tuesday of last week, didn't we? Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Because of our driving, we did a road trip for that trip.
Yeah, so just barely a week.
What do you think about that driving to and from the port when it's not Los Angeles? Is it crazy? Or do you find it, is it okay? What do you think?
Well, we did it years ago, and we said we'd never do it again. And this time,
well, that worked out well, didn't it?
Yeah, this time, well, it had been a few years, but it wasn't that bad. But it makes for a long trip, though.
Yeah.
Now, coming back, originally we had planned to drive straight home just because we got off the ship on Monday. Originally, when I booked it, I was thinking we were going to get off on Sunday. I wasn't really thinking about it because it was an 8-day. But
oh yeah, but we didn't get off till Monday instead of Sunday. That was a curveball right there.
We were going to have to drive straight home, mainly because of school. So
you're in school now? Oh, not you're in school. Matthew's school, isn't it?
Well, his.
Okay.
Well,
Matthew and Callie in school.
Yeah.
So we got it.
Well, he had a class that he really couldn't miss that day, but he worked something out and he was able to miss it. So we were able to change our plans kind of actually when we were on the ship. It was, I think, when midway we decided to book a hotel and stay.
Yeah, we decided
halfway.
that 17 hours of straight driving was not good for the quality of our family, our livelihood, and our interactions with each other. It's just a long time to be in the car with everybody, and especially when only one of us is actually doing the driving. Every time we go somewhere, there's talk of 2, maybe 3 people driving, but it always ends up being just one poor fool that does all the driving. Why is that?
I always offer to drive, but you say, "Oh no, I'm okay right now. I'm okay."
Yeah.
And then the only times that you have ever said, "Oh, why don't you take over?" It's like late at night, or when I don't like to drive like at night, really, because or like when I'm really tired, like, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to fall asleep in the car, and then you're like, "Oh, why don't you take over now?" And I'm like, "Well, now I'm tired."
Well, all right. I just got a message from Leanne. She's officially forgotten all about us. She said that they just got done car shopping and they just stopped out somewhere for dinner. She's like, "Oh my God." And I said, "Okay, well, that's fine." Nancy, thank you for being here. Thank you for always being there for us. And Leanne, I hope you get some cutlets or some oysters while you're out or whatever you're up to there. We'll see what happens. So we shall see. But yeah, it always ends up being me. And I don't know if you guys have that word. Is there one person in the family that just does all the driving? And I feel like if I let someone else drive, we're going to get home an hour later. and there's a lot of
Well,
there's a lot of this
That's probably why, because you think
when someone else is
no,
driving.
you think I drive too slow, and it's not that I drive slow, but I drive slower than you. You drive too fast. So
I don't drive too fast. How many tickets have I had in the last 25 years? For speeding.
I know you've had at least one.
At least one, only one, and that was on the way to Minnesota once, and that's because I was trying to show Matthew how fast the car goes.
No, you got a ticket in Utah that time too. We were on the way to
Utah. I don't know. I've never been to Utah. I don't know what you're talking about.
We were on the way to Colorado
I don't know
one
what you're talking
winter
about.
with our friends. I know it was years ago. If she's here,
No, I got a warning. I did not get a ticket. I think I got a warning.
No, I think you got a ticket.
I don't remember. No, okay, we
Anyways.
went to go hang out with him. That I mean, okay, so two in 25 years.
Who has gotten the most tickets?
Well, considering I drive 98% of the time, my 2 is not a bad
In my
number.
entire life, I think I've had one ticket.
See, I see some comments out there talking about driving. Travel Cake Trip says Brian usually does all the long distance driving, but I do give him a break about 2 to 3 hours before I say I'm tired of driving. Yes, that's usually how it is. I prefer to just pull over and get like if I just close my eyes for like 10 minutes, then I can pop up and I'm refreshed and I'm ready to go another 13 hours usually.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
Eric Granger, what's up, Eric? Says, I do all the driving, but my bride controls the radio. Ooh, that's rough, dude. I need the radio. Well, I need to control the radio when I'm driving because I need the right music to get me to the next, get me to the next mile marker, I guess you could say. Funny, I say Brian drives too slow, especially on Prima, but 80 and 287 also. Oh, well, Brian does spend a lot of time driving. Because he drives back and forth to the donut shop, and then he's going to hockey practice and all that. So he's got that calm driving. You got a ticket trying to show Matthew how fast the car goes. LOL. Wendy, it's kind of a true story. We'll talk about cruising in a second. We're just kind of getting warmed up here, but we were on our way, and I think I was just saying, Matt, boy, we're driving along at 70, and it only feels like we're going whatever. And I said, well, here's what it feels like if you go a little faster. And I thought I was just on wide open road. There's not a soul anywhere. And then I think I pushed it up to about 90 really quick. And and I guess it was a 65 and I thought it was a 75. And then, so as I slowed down, I was like, oh, shoot. And I looked in the rearview mirror and woo, right behind me. And that was it. And that's all she wrote. So, all right, well. So listen, thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We got look at that. We're about 150 people here. That is great. And we just got back from our second ever Princess cruise.
Yeah.
Sharon, listen, if you're going to talk about Princess, I think there's one thing that you have to do. And when I do this, once you see the reaction from the crowd at the end of this short little video clip, you're going to see exactly why the Princess Cruise Line is the equivalent of the fun ship. I mean, when the crowd goes insane at the end of this, you guys are going to be blown away. I hope you're ready. I just want to hit the right button. Okay, are you ready? We're going to do the countdown, and here it comes.
5, 4,
4, 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? Look at the crowd. They're out of their minds. They're going insane. It's just crazy. They're uncontrollable. They're okay. The crowd barely reacted at all. That is the Princess crowd. I'll tell you what. But I don't know. Our cruise this time was much better than the last time, wasn't it?
It was, and I think part of it was because we were indoors there. I don't know if they always do it indoors in Galveston because, or if it was just the weather, because it did look like it was going to rain outside. The weather wasn't that great. It was really windy, so that could have been why too.
I don't know, but yes, it's definitely a little mellow when they do it inside. It's not the usual thing. And then they went on to have a couple of like songs you might know. I think they did the Wobble song. A band did the Wobble, and there were about 6 people out there doing the Wobble. So it's very much different vibe. Kids
out there, littler kids out dancing and stuff. And I did like Stanley the Bear. I like Stanley the Bear.
Yes. Even Gina said not as lively as the Sun crowd. The Sun crowd was a little more lively than this crowd.
I will say they were. There was a lot more going. It's not that there was a lot more going on in the piazza, but I feel like there were more people and it was louder on the Sun.
I agree.
But-
agree. A different vibe and a different crowd. For
But
sure.
if I had to choose which cruise was a better cruise for us, I'm going to choose the Regal Princess over the.
Oh yes. As a matter of fact, today I was just filling out my the survey. It came a little late. You forwarded me a survey.
Well, yours came to my email too. I got
Oh,
both
because
of them.
you're my official travel
So
agent.
I sent. No, it came to my personal email. I don't know.
That's weird.
but
Why? Because I saw my name on it. And it was email from you, and I didn't know if you filled it out already. But I went ahead and clicked on it. And filled it out.
I filled
anyway,
mine
so.
out, and then I sent you.
It's always fun filling out the survey and
I wonder
kind
if
of
we
being
put the
reminded.
same things on it. Our
Oh
survey.
no, I don't think they were the same. The one thing I did, the one thing one of our best things from a cruising aspect was the quality of our cabin steward.
Mm-hmm.
And this gal, her name was Gina, by the way, so it was very easy to remember because we have a friend named Gina. So easy name.
She was so nice,
unbelievable.
She went out of her
one of the
way
best ever. So that
to
was
do everything. She always came up and talked to us. She was friendly.
Yes.
You know, she was always coming in, putting the beds up and down during the day, and she was working around our kind of weird schedule because, most people leave their cabins in the morning and then they're able to put the pull down beds up and then they bring them down at night again.
Yes.
But most people leave the cabin and they're able to do that. And with us, it's like the kids wanted to sleep in, so it's like some days she didn't get to get in our cabin to do that stuff until right before her break at like 1 p.m. And then she would come back again around 6 just to put them down again, pull them down again. So there was, I think, 2 days that we actually told her, don't even bother.
We just kept the beds down.
Because we're
and if you've seen the videos, you've seen kind of the setup. We've got a couple videos out already, including a cabin tour from you, Embarkation Day. Just this morning, we put out a video from our trip to Roatan, seeing our good buddy Johan from Real Deal Roatan Tours. So that was awesome. 1, 2, I don't know if there is that all of them so far. We got a couple more to go, so hang in there. We got about 4 or 5 more videos that I think from the Regal Princess trip. So we're gonna share some of that stuff with you, and we had a great time, including a really maybe a different kind of video from our Belize experience.
Yeah.
We went to Cozumel and we went back to Nachi Kokom for a second time. And
It's changed a lot.
It has changed.
That's all we'll say.
We're just going to leave it there, and then you can check it out when you when it comes out here in a couple days. Got a ship tour going on as well, so that's us going to be coming too. Let me jump in. Hold on, I'm having a little trouble seeing tonight. Let me put on my specs here so I can see. Let's see. Terry Gallant says, "Hey, I'm not trying to get political here, but how many Canadians may choose to not cruise out of U.S. ports because of political turmoil?" I'm not sure. I saw a comment in a live stream, I think, the other week about someone who said, "Oh, we're not cruising now." I'm like, listen, that's a personal decision if you want to make it. I kind of feel like you're punishing yourself. You're just flying here, going to the coast, and getting on a cruise ship that is not registered in the U.S. So I hope that anyone from any other country feels fine just, coming over here. Bring your own snacks if you don't want to buy anything in the United States. Do whatever you want to do, but just get on the cruises because you're just punishing yourself if you don't go. That's what I'm saying. Beverly Juka said when we were on Princess, they played the Love Boat song at least 3 times in a row as we were leaving the port. It was on, and then when we were on our balcony, they were playing it too as we drove past Harmony of the Seas, leaving Galveston. Yeah. And people were going. Actually, I think the Harmony of the Seas people were more excited about it than the people in Princess. I feel like there was more excitement coming over there. They were on their balconies yelling. And
I like listening to it. I mean, it's something different. I like it.
And speaking of the Love Boat and the Love Boat theme, Sharon, you got addicted to the Love Boat, did you not? While we were
addicted.
I'm thinking you were addicted. I think there was a lot like, put that on now and be quiet. I'm watching the show.
Well, the first night we were in the cabin and we turned the TV on when we went in and we were just looking to see what channels were on the TV. Sometimes you just checking out the TV and all that. So we noticed that they had the Love Boat on there and they had all the seasons and we're like, oh, okay, we're on Princess. Yeah, it makes sense. So we had turned one on for a minute because we were just curious. We hadn't watched it in years. And the kids were in the room. Mm-hmm. And they actually got into it because for some reason they had never heard of it really before or seen it. And so they really got into it. So then we watched, I think, another episode that night. And so then every night after that on the cruise, pretty much, when we came back in the cabin at night, we we turned the Love Boat on and we watched an episode where, anyways, we got almost all the way through season 1 by the end of our cruise.
Yes.
So we're like, oh, we're going to have to come home and have family nights and finish up through all the seasons.
Yeah, and then we realized that it's on like, what's it on, like Peacock or Paramount Plus
Paramount.
or some kind of streaming channel.
Yeah.
So I'm like, great, now we have to subscribe to a new
We already have
streaming.
that.
Do we have it already?
Yeah.
Oh God, thank God, Sharon. Thank God. And but what was funny was going back to season 1, episode 1 of the Love Boat and watching like the first season again. And I don't know if I remember the episodes, but I remember watching it as a little fella there. And I must have been in the 70s
it's funny because
or
they're
something.
just so different and kind of corny and just, but it was fun. And
Yeah.
because we didn't really have any really late nights on this cruise. I mean, all of our port days were really early port days.
Yes.
Like we were in port at 7 or 8 in the morning, and we had excursions in the ports, all but one, and that where we had to be off the ship early.
Fairly
So
early.
yeah,
Yep.
so we went. We were back in the room by, I'd say, almost like 10 o'clock almost every night.
Yes.
And so we would just watch Love Boat, and so it was a really relaxing cruise.
That is true. Timothy Walter says, amazing the evolution of the cruise ships. The old ones could almost pass as tugboats. You're not too far off there, Timothy. You're not too far off. Now this, I don't know, the Regal, I thought it was going to be older than it was, because I will say that I loved the ship itself. I love the design. I love the tile floors in there, the
wood.
decoration. I did really like it. It was very nice.
An older
and a little fancy
ship feel, though. It doesn't have the modern feel. No.
Yes. So, but it was, but I was a fan of it, and really, I mean, looking back at it, I can't. I mean, besides it just being a little relaxed, and at times maybe a little too relaxed. And I saw a comment about, the average age of the people there. You're right. I think it was Laura from Huddle Adventure said, the average age was much higher than usual. You're right. But I don't know. There was a few younger people, but not a lot.
Well, I would say there were more younger people on this one. Well, the Sun Princess had a lot of middle-aged people when we were on it.
Yes.
Not as many kids, but I wouldn't say they were really old. They were more middle-aged. This one had a real variety of ages, but I will say there were a lot more kids on it. It was spring break. There were teens, but there were a lot of smaller kids too. You would see walking around with families, kind of just younger families.
Yeah. And there were, I mean, I don't know, but
it was quiet. It wasn't like there wasn't kids running up and down the halls and all that like on some of the other times.
No, there wasn't.
You didn't get that.
We were probably the loudest ones at times. I mean, there were times when I cheered like at the piazza for something, even like on that thing when we were counting. They're like 5, 4, and I could hear myself over everyone else. It was ridiculous. I was the loudest, most obnoxious person in the group. That was for sure. Richard Art, actually, what's up? A question: would you check your bags on Carnival or just carry them around for a few hours so your room's ready? And getting the bags takes so long. Sometimes it's not in front of the room where we find them. Richard, I wouldn't carry large luggage around, but I would certainly bring a carry-on onto the cruise ship.
We always bring a carry-on with us with a few. Like I always like to bring like my toiletries and those type of things in a carry-on, along with I always bring one swimsuit, like a swimsuit cover-up and one extra outfit. Maybe something I'm going to wear to dinner that night, or just another outfit with me in my carry-on. That way, if for some reason it takes a while for my luggage to get there, or in the event my luggage never gets there,
well, you're
I will
always
be
plan
perfect.
ahead for us.
I'll be perfectly happy. I'll have my toiletries and I'll have a change of clothes and a swimsuit, and hey, I'll have a great week. So
yep, there you go. There you go. Let's see, what else do I have here? Charles Hahn said, "Hey, at Brady's Cay, were the drinks and the food included?"
They were, if you purchased the day pass that included them. There were a couple options. We did not purchase that one. We just went over there mainly because for if it was just me and Jamie, it might have benefited us, but the kids would have had to pay the same price, and they're not drinking alcohol.
No.
They might have a soda,
Not that we know of, anyway.
maybe 2 or something. They're not really going to be. It really didn't benefit to pay for 4 of us, so we just paid to go over there. We bought some food and drinks when we were there, and that was just the better way to go for us.
Yes, and for us, like we went through Real Deal Roatan tours, and we'll always tell you to book with them. We think they're the best tour guide in Roatan.
And you're not
hands
paying
down.
anymore really to book with them. And you're getting your transportation included over to the little boat to get over there.
What I will say is this: if you go to the website for Brady's Cay, if you saw the video today, then you know, and if you haven't seen it, now you got to go watch it because we're talking about it. But if you go to their website, they do have a couple different packages you can go with. And if you right now, I think on Real Deal Roatan Tours on their website, they're offering something where it includes the transportation, and I think it says a lunch and 2 first drinks and some stuff like that. And it costs extra to do some stuff like they do have a sloth thing there. We didn't talk about the sloth thing that they offer because the sloth factor is so unknown right now.
Yeah, it was. I guess it is. It's not really like us all inclusive. It is more. I think it is like a meal and so many drinks.
Well, they offer a drink on the Brady Cay website. It says you can purchase an extra drink package that includes like 8 beers for $65. And I'm like, well, I don't know if that's a great deal. And I paid $20 for a bucket of beers out of their menu. So I don't know. You just got to really shop around and see what you find. And I don't know if Real Deal Roatan Tours is exactly as it might be a few bucks more than what Brady's Cay offers. But I like the private ride, the transportation when you want it. See, we got there very early in the day, and we were able to get fabulous seats. But then later in the day, groups of people came by, and I'm wondering if that was part of their own.
It did get more crowded, but I would say it wasn't as crowded as a lot of places.
Yeah,
like people were still finding chairs. But if you purchase it directly through Brady's Cay, then you also have to get your own transportation over to the boat.
I'm not sure about that, Sharon. We might need to double. I saw something where it said transportation. They had some form of transportation, but it may be one bus that takes a bunch of people at one time later in the day. Because I just remember seeing a handful of people come at once, thinking maybe that's their own transportation that comes in a little later, and they probably stop at both cruise ports to get that done. So look into it, do the legwork, and see what's going to be best for you. And
we didn't really look.
We didn't look at there so much. We just went with our guy. So that's the deal. From North to Neverland.
Nancy said it looked nice. It was really nice. I think that's my new favorite beach in Roatan. It was beautiful there.
It's right up there. I just wish they had a pool because I am a pool guy.
No, I didn't mind. The water was beautiful. It was warm, not too warm. It was there was only one negative thing, and it was a little rocky in the water. So you probably should bring water shoes. We didn't have water shoes, but I managed okay. But
there were a few things we did where we didn't have the right footwear, but we'll talk about that at another time. You'll do that after our balloons.
Yeah, we had another excursion where we were in the jungle, and we knew we were going to go in a cave, but I don't know what I was thinking. I was part of it was
don't give too much away.
Well, part of it was we were going to the beach too. So in my head, I'm thinking, we're going to be riding in Jeeps in the jungle, but we're going to go to the beach. So
you gave too much away already. Okay. Jeeps jungle, what?
So I wore my flip flops.
And
we
all had flip flops.
And I had a
like a sundress on,
like a wraparound kind of cover up skirt thing. And
it was ridiculous.
And anyways, we had to walk up all these steps, go in a cave, and so I had to manage to do all that in not dressed properly, but it was still a lot of fun.
Listen, here's the bottom line. From North to Neverland saying, hello, Canadian here, American hubby, and nothing's going to stop me from cruising. That's the attitude that we like to hear. Perfect. And guys, that's a reminder. If you are going to cruise and you're going to book a cruise and you haven't contacted Sharon to do it for you, I don't know what you're thinking because she's the best in the business. Remember, sharonatsea@gmail.com. sharonatsea@gmail.com. Hold on. I haven't even put that up yet on the screen for people, just in case they don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Do I have it here? Let me see. Oh, boom, there it is. Right there. See, right there. sharonatsea@gmail.com. Shoot an email. She'll get back to you very quickly. Next you know, you'll be talking directly with her, not a recording, not of somebody from another country handling her business. It'll just be her. And it won't be me, so you can trust things will get done the right way as well. I always say. I always point that out for people just so they know. Let's see what else do we have in the chat. I don't want to miss any questions. If you have any questions, please make sure you put the word question ahead of your question so that we know and that everything's okay. Daniel Fields warning us about the Love Boat. There are 10 seasons. It's on Paramount Plus, and the last 2 are not the best. Daniel, Nancy, hello. Thank you so much for that good information. We appreciate it.
The last 2 seasons, it looked like there weren't as many episodes, at least not on the TV on Princess.
Yeah.
I don't really remember how many episodes. But
Well, and Nancy says, I love watching Love Boat shows on Princess. And Nancy, I believe
Yeah.
in order for you to be watching it, you would have to set your phone up on the slot machine like this so you can go and be watching both things. I know.
I know.
We
We got kind of caught up in it. I don't know why, but it was just kind of weird.
Crazy Cat Charlotte said, I like the Princess has a different horn from Disney. Makes regular horns almost sound boring.
Yeah.
Unless you're on one. You're right. It is kind of, listen, it's kind of cool when they play that. And
Yeah,
it's a little
I
bit
liked it. It was
nostalgic.
different.
But the crowd there and maybe in that area, I was waiting for the place to erupt and everybody's like, that was nice.
Well, the dancing and everything they were doing there, that kind of reminded me of a Disney type.
Yes.
It gave me that Disney vibe there.
Yes, yeah, that's right. The ship isn't that old. The Regal isn't that old. It's I think it's from like 2014, if I'm not mistaken.
I think 11.
Maybe it's 11, somewhere in there. But yeah, it's not the oldest ship, that's for sure. Our next cruise will be like on the oldest ship in the world, the Carnival Elation, which is the one that we went on after we got married. It was our first cruise together, and we went on that thing 20 plus years ago. So there you go. Ken Brubaker said, so Jamie's embracing his elderly status on Princess. I'm jealous, Jamie. I want to enjoy my elder years too. Listen, I was definitely in old man Jamie mode. We laid out at times. We discovered different parts of the ship. We actually discovered they have a really nice area called the Retreat.
Yeah, that was our favorite place to lay out.
And I think at first I knew that there was a place called the Retreat, but I thought that was like the fancy hoity-toity part of the cruise ship.
I think on the Sanctuary.
Maybe, but even the Sanctuary is the hoity-toity part, but there's no water, there's no pool, there's no tub.
No, not in the ship.
It's shaded. I guess it's the most inclusive area or exclusive, and you do pay a few bucks to get a spot, I think, in the Sanctuary.
But we weren't even really thinking about the Retreat at first. The first day we went out on the pool deck and we were laying out, and then all of a sudden we got a message from Callie. She was laying out with a girl that she met on the ship, and she's like, "Oh, I'm up in the Retreat," and we're like, "The Retreat?"
Like, how the heck are you up on the Retreat? I was jealous.
So she's up there laying out everything, and so anyway, so then we found our way up there, and we laid out there a couple days, and it was so relaxing up there, and it wasn't crowded, it wasn't noisy, it was
Listen, it was fabulous, and I met my favorite bartender, Joseph, up there too. So that was pretty awesome. I will say that if you want to be big time on Princess, I will tell you that I'm not sure. Like, all right, when it comes to tipping on the cruise ship, I think if you're someone who likes to have a few drinks, it's kind of unwritten that although gratuities usually included with your drink. When you pay for it, if you're on Carnival, you sign the paper, 18% is included. If you get a drink package with another cruise line, 18% is already included. You've already paid your gratuity in almost all cases, unless you're buying drinks a la carte, and they probably have it then when you pay for that as well. But throwing a little extra tip to a bartender will certainly get you a little love and appreciation. And I'm not sure that I saw another dollar cross a bar anywhere. And I'll tell you what, when I gave the guy in the Retreat, when I asked him for your margarita and for mashed potatoes and gravy for me, which was a pina colada with a dark rum and a rum topper and all that, and he brought it back and I gave him $5, and you would have thought that I just gave him a bag of money. I mean, it was unbelievable. And that guy constantly, like at one point I was sitting over in the hot tub, just sitting in the hot tub, and he walks over and hands me a Miller Lite because I started drinking Miller Lite. Just gives me one. He's like, "Here you go," and I was like, "Wow!" And so that's definitely a cruise line where you throw a few bucks at somebody, and you will definitely, get a little bump in the service in return. At least that was my experience, and I did that at the Crooner Bar as well, which is another favorite place of mine on the ship to go. And I did that pre-dinner on occasion. Didn't we talk about that on the last show, or is that just you and I talking about that? Like, do you get out of your other half's way?
Yeah, I think you mentioned that.
And on this particular cruise, I snuck down there to the bar before dinner a couple times because it was 4 of us in the same cabin. We didn't have separate cabins. So it was a little bit of a cluster. So I would get dressed and ready, and I'm like, I'm out of here. I got to, get out of the room. And that was very cool.
And some people ask why we have the last couple of cruises we've been doing 2 cabins.
Yes.
and this one we didn't. And going like over the next couple of years, all of our cruises, some of them we have 2 cabins, some we don't for various reasons.
Yes.
Usually it's the pricing or something. But this one, when we booked it, it was like the 3rd and 4th guests were free type thing. So that's why we booked the cabin for all 4 of us.
Yes, it just worked out good. I see if we.
Something up there. Oh,
I see a few
Shotguns.
questions.
She said we usually close down the dance floor at 11 and go to our cabin and watch Love Boat.
See, that's the move. Love Boat is the move. Travel cake trips. Are there any late night shows, pizza, or are things shut down earlier on Princess?
Not well.
The pizza's on the Lido
Pizza
deck
closed at 11.
at 11 o'clock. So that's not too bad. So it's almost the same time nowadays as Carnival does it.
Yeah.
And there were some
is.
shows that go a little bit later, and usually in the Piazza,
That will
they're
go
doing
late.
stuff till 10:30ish and 11.
Oh, more than it's almost midnight.
Yeah, so it doesn't shut down particularly early.
And they always have the International Cafe open,
Yeah.
which has all kinds of sandwiches, desserts, things, specialty coffees, and other things, and they're all really good.
Yeah. I saw a question about
And that's open all night long.
someone asked, can Real Deal Roatan take you over to the island? So in our case, actually, Johan told us that we were some of the first people that he's actually booked and taken over to Brady's Cay. It's a new relationship he has with that place. So they are still ironing all the things out. And he actually came over with us. One, because it was us and we've known him for a long time. And he also wanted to come over and say hi to the people that were there. And I'm not sure if he had met him so much quite yet or whatever the case is. So we got to meet the owner and Denver the dog, and that was cool. And so he came over. So I'm not 100% sure if Real Deal will bring you there.
I think they
Get you on the boat, send you over, and then be there when
my
you get back.
understanding
Is what I
they
think.
bring you to the boat, you get on the boat, go over, and then when you come back on the boat,
Mm-hmm.
they're there to pick you up, to take you back to the cruise ship. And
Yes.
you probably would designate a time of what time you want to leave there, like if you want to stay till say 2 o'clock, you let them know, okay, I'm gonna probably head back on the boat about 2 o'clock, and then they'll be there waiting for you.
Yes. John and Diamond, what's up? I see you guys. They said hello. Glad to see y'all back. Hope Princess treated you like the royalty you are. Oh my God, please. John and Diamond, I saw you guys had your most recent cruise. You had your embarkation day video out. So good stuff on there. I watched it. I commented. I checked it out. Did y'all have Princess Plus or Princess Premium package? Said Curtis Polk. Sharon, what did we have?
We had the Plus package. We didn't. I thought at one point about upgrading to the Premium package, but since there really wasn't a lot of specialty restaurants on here, like and like the steakhouse stuff, we didn't feel like it was worth it because the Plus was fine for drinks. It still included our Wi-Fi gratuities, and so we didn't upgrade this time. If we're on a newer ship, we may consider it specialty restaurant.
There you go. Seeming Beans, that question is your summer group cruise specifically aimed at families. What's going on, Seeming Bean? Nice to see you here, buddy. I think you're probably talking about, hold on. If you're talking about a group cruise, I think you probably are talking about not that one. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So you guys hold your horses. You're probably talking about this one. So listen, it's not specific for families, but we're going to have our family, our friends, Brian and Julie from How We Cruise. They've got 3 lovely kids, and they're going to be there too. So we called it more of family and friends, fun for all ages cruise.
And there's a few kids, but there's really not that many.
Not a ton of younger kids.
There's way more adults than kids.
Yes, for sure. So, I mean, listen, it's open to everybody. That is for sure. And there may still be cabins booked. I think you just booked somebody else here recently as well on that. And listen, while we're on the topic, and just to do some cheesy promotion, let's jump into this. I know you guys are aware of this, but I just wanted to remind you that I've got a little something special cooking for April in 2026. It goes by the name of the Jimmy Jamboree. If you haven't heard about it yet, listen, this one, you know that Sharon's got the girls' cruise. She's doing it with Nancy. They did it last year. People loved it. And even when they did it last year, people kept saying, hey, what about one for just the guys? Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2023.
It wasn't, was it? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing every other year. Okay. Well, so the last one you did, it was a huge success. And then you scheduled the next one, which is coming up here in October. And so we said, hey, how about something for the boys? So it's a 2026 Jimmy Jamboree. This one's for the boys. It's a short little 3-day weekend getaway, April 10 to 13, leaving from Miami. It's going to go to Nassau. It's going to go to Great Stirrup Cay. Really simple NCL getaway. I love the ship. And I just want to make sure that I shared a little bit more information about it tonight, just in case you're thinking about going. Let's see. Let's see. So I've got a couple things here. Let's see. Interiors for two, $1,400, includes the moored sea package. That includes your drinks for the 3 days, as much as you can drink. So that's fantastic. You've got a balcony for two, $1,700. Ocean view for two, $1,500. They do have solo cabins as well. Listen, it's not the cheapest cruise you're going to do, but considering that price, it includes drinks. Hey, Lucy. It's not so bad of a deal. And it includes a $100 onboard credit per cabin. Again, the moored sea, drinks, one specialty dining as well. And for many of the cabins, if you book them, it includes Wi-Fi and an excursion credit if you decide to do the excursion. If you've been in the military and you're able to do the verification process, that gets you an extra 10% off. And the only additional charges are the gratuities that you'll pay, $20 a person. And probably the best thing is, if you're thinking about doing it, it's $50 to put down, and it's $50 per person, and that is refundable. And I think, Sharon, you said you have group space for maybe the next 2 weeks or so, 2 to 3 weeks until that's gone. How does that work?
The current group space is good until April 10th, and then after that, I'll have to request more group space because it runs out. The timing for that. So then I will request some more, but the prices could potentially go up a little bit because the prices are a little higher now than when I originally held the group space. So they'll probably go up a little bit, maybe not a lot, but they will go up a little bit when I hold more. So.
All right, so that's the deal. So if you're thinking about doing it, jump on it now. If something changes, you can always get your money back. So it's not the end of the world. And at $50 a person, it's a great time to get that going. And just really quick, what else you got cooking, Sharon? We got that. Of course, we got the Greek Isle cruise from Rome to Istanbul, and that is May to June 2026.
I know I've been looking at hotels. The hotels aren't available yet in Rome, but I have. I'm starting to work on some excursions there with a company.
That would be awesome.
And so there are some things out now, but I'm gonna get several things together, and I'll post something in the Facebook group for that, in the Facebook group for that cruise, probably July-ish or so this summer, where there'll be a whole list of excursions by then. I'll have one, there'll be stuff in every port.
There you go. And I know, Sharon, we have the Aqua for the group cruise for New Year's Eve coming up at the end of this year. And I don't think anyone else is going to book that. The prices are outrageous for that right now.
And there's no more group space on that. So
that's right.
The only way to book it would be book at the current rate. And
yes.
And it's like I wouldn't even want to ask anyone to book at that rate because I personally would not pay that rate. It is doubled since.
That's right. But Group Cruise 6.0, December 27, 2026. On Norwegian Encore is in effect. We're going back to the West Coast for that. So that is going to be fabulous. So take a look. And if you go on sharonatsea.com, you can find information about all the different group cruises that we have coming up. So you can definitely go back and you can check that out. And you can see what you might want to go on, what's interesting you, and see how that goes. Let's see.
I saw a comment here on my phone. It's probably up there.
So, Seeming Being, I hope that answered the question. Thanks for allowing us to bring it up and do some selfless promotion while we're at it. We love when we can kill two birds with one stone, my friend. So, thank you very much for that. Hold on. I'm getting a little behind in the chat. Let me see if I can't catch up a little bit here and see. Are you sailing MSC American anytime soon? Says Elm. I don't think so. I don't think we have anything going on.
Right. Not real soon. There's a chance we might be on an MSC cruise maybe by the end of the year, but not in the next few months.
There you go. Let's see. What else? Debbie Rain said, I can't let Clark go on the boys cruise. He would miss the ship drinking with the group on shore and gamble away our funds for the Mediterranean cruise. Come on, you can trust Clark. Listen, it's just because I'm going to be there, just because I think Roger Johnson will be there, doesn't mean it's going to be like Mazatlan.
And Jamie, you can't trust Jamie to help out there.
How dare you, Sharon? I will be responsible, and I'll make sure that everyone gets home safe and sound. That for sure. Let's see. Harvey Rapp said, we were disembarking the ship the day you embarked. Glad you had a good time. So did we. Glad to hear you had a good time as well. That sounds fabulous. Thank you very much. What else do we have here? What else? Laura from Huddle Adventure talked about the pizza. Listen, the pizza on Princess. Matthew talked about it on Embarkation Day.
Yeah.
What's the verdict on that pizza?
It is the best pizza we've had at sea.
Yes.
He likes, I mean, so far to me, to Matthew too, I think Carnival's the best pizza, but this was way better. We had the pizza on the pool deck, which was really good. And then we went to Alfredo's and it was so good. That was, we had such a good meal at Alfredo.
Yes, for sure. Crazy Cat Travel, I see your comment saying, talking about the tipping, probably because so many people at the Plus and Premier where gratuities are included. And I get that, gratuities are included, but there's nothing that says thank you like a buck or two or a $5 over the bar when you're just getting some good attention. And it's amazing how that will get you noticed. When the next time you go up to that bar and there's 10 people standing there, somehow when that bartender scans the group, your face will pop right out.
I feel like
and pick you out of a crowd.
You know, it's funny. I feel like even on other cruise lines where you prepay your gratuity before you go, I feel like a lot more people nowadays than several years ago, because they prepay them or they're included in their package, that they feel that they're taken care of and they don't need to tip anymore or don't, you know, and that's fine. I mean, there's nothing against anyone that does, but like years ago when you didn't prepay them and they would charge you on your bill, you know, daily.
Yeah.
I felt like more people would pay extra then and tip more than on above and beyond that. Yes. For some reason. And I don't really know why, but I just remember so many more people tipping years ago than they do now.
Yes, it was much different. Oh, hold on. I think
not that there's a
hold on. You know, listen, we missed a super chat. Thanks very much. The Ship Show. Thank you for the super chat. That's very nice of you. We appreciate that very much. That is very nice. Thanks for the generosity. Let's see. What else do we have? Joe Staccato said 3 days is most I can handle with Jimmy from what I've heard. Yes, listen, guys, it's just rumors. The whole Jimmy thing. There's really no truth to it. Brian from Howie Crew says Sid Norman's and the Humidor. What else do we need? You're right. I mean, on a ship like that, Sid Norman's, cigars. They have a cigar lounge on the cruise ship. You don't have to find a spot out back in the wind. You can sit in the lounge, go back to your room stinking like cigars, and guess what? There's no one there to tell you that you stink and to make you take a shower before you go to bed. And that's a hard bargain to pass up. I think that let's see. Stephanie says, I got an upgrade offer. Does anyone know how long I have to book it? I wanted to research the room locations. If somebody gets an upgrade offer, is there a time frame on that usually? Can it vary with the cruise line?
It's usually until you can put the upgrade offer in any time. The thing is, the longer you wait, the chances are it might get, like, depending on the cruise line, it'll get declined saying there's no other rooms available, or it'll just kind of sit there and you'll never get the upgrade. You know, at the end when they upgrade you, like the ones that you bid on and things, just never. Yeah.
There you go. I see a question from Elm again. Can you wander around the ship the whole night? You sure can. You can walk around the ship for 24 hours if you wanted to. You do not have to go to bed. You can stay up the entire time and not sleep. And the egg situation was fabulous. There were more eggs than we could shake a stick at. Let's see.
Ricardo said $5 tip, and my guy was mixing my drink when he saw me waking up.
You're damn right. You are damn right, buddy. Let's see. Timothy Walter, how was the food on this Princess cruise? What do you think?
I overall the food was great.
Yes.
The buffet, there were a lot of options in the buffet. Everything was good. I think 2 different nights we actually ate dinner in the buffet just because we didn't feel like, we just were lazy on this cruise a little bit. We didn't feel like going to the main dining room. And I was also getting a little, it wasn't my favorite menu in the main dining room, I guess. You love the menu.
I was a little more open to it.
The kids really weren't loving the menu that much. And I was like, okay with it. Some nights there really wasn't anything that sounded that good to me, but a couple nights there was. And when I ordered something that I liked, it was really good. Like I got mahi mahi one night. It was exceptional. I got a chicken dish one night. It was really good. Yes. But they just had a lot of, it's almost like the menu, they tried to make everything sound a little fancier. There's a lot of seafood or like veal or lamb and, just different things like that. And I'm not I'm more, give me a steak or a chicken, or I'm just kind of
Well,
more
I'm more
picky.
like, give me. There were a few times I got two entrees, and they were
So
fabulous.
a lot of people would probably love the menu.
and they're still right about here. as a
So
matter of fact,
that's just me because I'm a picky.
they're still right there. Duper Midship Show, what's up, brother? Lovely to see you. Hope you and the fam are doing well. Thanks for being here, buddy. Let's see, what else do we have there? There was another. Oh, Eric Granger said, yeah, I know it's hard to justify for a 3-day, but you could do a back-to-back or something like that. Or here's what you do. Guys, come into Miami with a family. Get them situated at a little resort, maybe at a beachside place. Tell them you're going out for coffee and a loaf of bread.
Never come back.
Don't come back, and then show up 3 days later with a tan and maybe like a gift from the cruise ship for them.
Oh my gosh.
Tell them you got lost. Everything's gonna be fine.
That'll
Don't
go
worry.
over well.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Let's see. Ken Brubaker said, I think we need to plan a March 2027 on the Crown Princess repositioning from Puerto Rico to Fort Lauderdale. Well, that is not the longest repositioning cruise. Are they stopping somewhere? Otherwise, that'll be about 3 hours.
I've been wanting to cruise out of San Juan lately because I've been wanting to go to some of the islands down, more southern islands like Barbados and Grenada and things like that. We have not been there since like 2008, I think, down there. And I'm really wanting to go back to some of those.
There you go. Jeff Roger, what's up? Great to have you here, Jeff. He has a question. Do you deal with Club Royal comp cruises and credit card comp cruises? I know you book quite often. You can book casino deals for people if they have them with the cruise line. Is Royal a little different, or how does that work?
Royal, you might as well just call their casino department and book it that way. And some cruise lines, it's like Carnival's the easiest. Carnival, you can book any casino offer. I can just go online and book it. The other cruise lines, most of them, you have to call the casino department, or even I would have to call the casino department to do it.
Yes.
And it's just really, there's no benefit, I guess, to it on the other.
Well, hey, it is what it is. So that's the deal. But can it be done? It can. And sometimes it can be very beneficial. Quite often when there's a group cruise, and especially like if it's on Carnival, there'll be people that book with a casino offer, and they can still end up being part of the group. If they book it on their own, they're technically not part of the group. They'd have to book with Sharon. She has to do the booking, pull them into the group, so it can be done. So that's one thing to think about. Listen, there are a few occasions where does it benefit you to have a travel agent? Maybe, maybe not. But contact Sharon, tell her your situation, and let her tell you what the best deal is at sharonatsea at Gmail.
Like when you have a casino promotion like that through Royal, especially if it's like a free cruise, that kind of thing. It's not like you're gonna be hoping that the travel agent's gonna find you a price drop or anything like that, because you got the lowest rate. It's basically
you're
free.
already dirt cheap.
Yeah, but I have had people reach out to me before and ask me if there's a better deal or if they've had a price drop and they've already got like a free cruise. They're only paying port fees and taxes, and I'm like, I don't know how much free.
They won't reduce the tax and the port fees. Timothy Walton's great question. Will Matthew be on the Jimmy Jamboree cruise? As of right now, Matthew is not scheduled on the cruise. He will be in school at that time. And not only will he be in school, but it'll be, I guess it'll still just be his junior year of college. Right? It'll be next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in this particular case, it just didn't pan out. So I have got just my own cabin.
Unless he changes his mind.
So
but right now, no.
If he changes his mind, though, I have room and I can just bring him in. And so that's how we kind of booked it. So as of right now, no, but we'll see what happens. Timothy Williams said, could not pass up Jubilee because the balcony I booked was $1,000 cheaper than the balcony I got for Celebration. See that? Listen, it'll happen. You got to check. Eric says, you have me at cigars. You're absolutely right, man. That's the deal. I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen on Jimmy Jamboree. Brian from Howie Cruise, nothing bad will happen because it's going to be a bunch of dudes hanging out, just enjoying a little bit of a guy chat, having cigars, having a few cocktails, and talking about how much we love our wives, partners, and families. Right? That's exactly what's going to be happening. It will probably just be sitting there, maybe like passing around a box of Kleenex because we'll be sad for missing our wives all the time. So I will bring, I'll put that in the swag bag. I promise everybody
Some Kleenex.
1 pack of Kleenex, so that just if you're having a moment and you're like, oh my God, I just wish that hold on, like maybe you're sitting there and you're going, I was just thinking about home and oh, sorry, is that a dirty Kleenex?
No,
Thank
that's
you,
just
Sharon.
a piece of paper.
And I'm just thinking, I miss Sharon, and I wish she was here. I wish, so sad to just to be by myself.
I
on
am
this
sure
cruise,
everyone will have fun on that cruise.
with a bunch of other buddies. So we'll see. We shall see. We shall see.
Jan Rose, I ordered pizza from the room service late night. It was great. Not the same as the others, but it was hit the spot.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
they got.
We really enjoyed. We did the room service a lot. The Ocean Now, we did that a lot on this cruise, and we really enjoyed it.
Well,
several times.
So not only do they have the pizza up on the pool deck, is where their pizza is.
Actually, 2 nights we ordered a bunch of stuff when we were watching the Love Boat, and we had food everywhere. We were in a big Love Boat.
Yeah, and I was trying to go to bed, and you guys all had the Love Boat cranking.
Then you got tired and wanted to go to sleep, and we were still all watching the Love Boat eating.
Exactly. Question, Kimberly, what kind of bourbon do they have that's included in the Plus package? All right, so here's something that was cool. On a lot of the menus that they have, drink menus and dining menus, at least on the Regal, they separated out what they have that's available for the Plus or the Premier package. And I can tell you, for the Plus, they had everything I wanted. I can tell you the Buffalo Trace was included. They had all the usuals. They had the Jim Beam and all that kind of stuff. And Buffalo Trace was really what I got most of the time. I saw Bullet was there, Knob Creek, and I didn't dive too much further than that. And like as far as vodka, I got a Grey Goose Martini. They had Kettle One there, a couple of other types. I had Patron Silver was available. The Premier takes it up a notch. Where I got caught was actually on the Sun Princess between the Plus and the Premier. Or actually, we had the Premier, but I still ordered a drink that cost more than the package covered. So it's okay to ask that. And there are times when you can walk up to the bar and say, hey, what's the best whatever you have? What's the best gin you have that's in the Plus package? And they'll tell you. They'll be like, yeah, I got this, this, and this, and this. Okay, great. Then give me one of those. So they're definitely easy to talk to you about it and let you know what's going to be best for you.
Michelle M said, I agree, Sharon, tipping is very controversial. Most people
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I moved the thing, but you can still I don't know
where it is now. Anyways, go up bar.
I'm sorry. I know you're different. I kind of read the whole comment and then talk about it. And
I was just started reading it, and then all of a sudden the comments are gone. I'm halfway through the sentence.
That's my trigger finger on the mouse. I am sorry about that.
Well, I'm sorry, Michelle.
My apologies. You can blame me. Here, make up your own question. What do you think your question was saying?
Anyways, it is controversial, and I know some people, like I said, tip more than others. And hey, you do what you want to do. Either way.
All right, hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna find that question for you because I know you're gonna yell at me later. Bill Belungo says, I'm less than 2 months away from going on Regal Princess to the British Isles. I can't wait.
Nice.
What do you think of the ship? Sorry I'm late. We really enjoyed the ship, and we had a much better experience than our first Princess cruise, which is odd because our first Princess cruise was on the newest ship in the fleet, the Sun Princess. Yeah. So, will we be back?
I think they have a lot of those kinks worked out now, but it's just we went on it too.
Yes.
I think it'll be a great ship for the British Isles. Anything in Europe, I think it's a great size ship for that.
I agree. Because it's not too big. Here's the comment. That's the comment. Tipping is very controversial. Most people don't give any more than prepaid. I always give a little extra, and it does go a long way. Yeah, you're not wrong to not tip extra. If you don't want to tip extra, you're fine not tipping extra. All I'm saying is that if you do, and if you like a little extra service, and if you find someone that really tickles your fancy and goes out of their way, and you're wanting them to keep going out of their way, or you want to make a special request for something, or whatever the case is, that's when you throw them a few extra bucks, and more often than not, you're going to find that you get a little extra attention. And if you don't, then you go on to the next one.
There's the question. She said, very controversial. Michelle M., most people don't give any more than the
Sharon,
prepaid.
Honey, I just read that. I literally just finished reading that. 'Cause I found that.
I'm not paying attention to you. I'm
God.
trying to read the chat.
We're having there's two live streams going on here. There's one with me and there's one with Sharon.
You can see, I don't listen to Jake.
She pays no attention.
I never listen.
Crazy Cat Traveler says, I feel bad not tipping extra, but I'm usually watching my budget. We do the same. We bring a stash of ones, maybe a couple fives for that special occasion. And do it early in the cruise, and then you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
I hear on Holland they have a bedtime. No, Wendy, they don't have a bedtime on Holland America.
I will say, well, eventually we want to go on another Holland America cruise, but I want to go on their newer ships. Their newer ships still feel like have a little bit of an older vibe feel to them. They're not as modern as some of the other cruise lines' new ships, but they just have a lot more going on, a lot of live music and just more fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever go on a very small Holland ship again, at least not for a long, long time, like we did when we went on the Volendam. But any of those small ones, they're just kind of boring, and I don't know. I don't really have any desire to go on them. Not that I would never do it, but
exactly. Daniel Field made a funny comment. He said, "What's great for the guys' cruise is the included internet from Norwegian is kind of garbage, so you're virtually unreachable." You're not totally wrong. It is very limited. And Norwegian's internet has not been great. But I will tell you what, if you want to talk about internet, Princess,
best
2
ever.
cruises, great internet the entire time.
Yeah,
great internet.
It's better than Royal, it's better than Carnival, better than Holland. But it's
Royal,
it's
Carnival,
better than Norwegian.
Holland, Princess.
It's the best. We've had no
NCL.
no issues with it at all. I mean, everything is like boom, boom, boom.
Yes. John and Diamond said, I'm so sure John will be crying tears while enjoying a cigar and a bourbon, but it won't be sad tears. They'll be tears of joy. Oh, Jamie. No, listen, he'll miss you terribly, but we will have a bourbon neat in your honor, Diamond, so don't you worry about that. Love that the medallion lets you order food anywhere on the ship. Crazy Cat Traveler, I will tell you that we use the medallion much more efficiently this time. On our first cruise, we
were just too busy that time.
Well, we just didn't know everything. Like I don't know. I guess we didn't realize how much the medallion could do and how much research we had to put into it. For instance, the entire first cruise, even the beginning of this one, we didn't even realize that we could see our folio, like our account was actually in the app, the medallion and stuff like that. Yeah. And the medallion and the app are all kind of linked together.
We never really looked much because the last cruise we were just so busy. I mean, it was a new ship. We were just trying to see everything that our whole focus was just on all that. And we really didn't take the time to I guess, really look into any of that.
Well, like the one thing we didn't do the entire first cruise was use
5 day too. It went so fast.
Was use the find your shipmate, your cabin mate feature.
Well, we were always together.
We were always together, but now with the 4 of us here, we realized that I could go in and be like, okay, where's Callie? Where's Matthew? Sharon could be like, where's Jamie? What's he up to? And you can go on there and you can see basically where they are at any time, which is great if you're going with kids and teens. You can track them down. And also, the bad thing is if you do tell your wife you're going to the International Cafe for coffee and a muffin, and all of a sudden you end up in the casino, they can tell that as well. So I guess it's a good and a bad thing. You gotta pick and choose your battles on that one. So that's a little bit of the difference there. Hold on, let me catch up here in the chat. I'm trying to catch up a little bit. I did jump ahead, so I did miss some questions. If there were any big questions you had, please throw them back in the chat again so we don't miss them. Let's see. Heading out on the con exam in a few days. Can't wait, said Kathy P. Oh, Kathy, yeah. That'll be great.
Yeah, you're going to have a great time.
I am excited to get back on
We love the con exam.
On a Holland America ship. While on Regal, Debbie Chapkin said, while on Regal, John tipped and bartenders treated him royally. gave him a few extra beers. See? Yeah. That's how it works. That is how it works. They'll take care of you when you take care of them. It's always nice to tip extra to your server on the pool deck. Timothy, you're right, because when that pool deck gets busy and there's 100 people getting drinks, and one thing also to remember, on a hot pool deck day, what is everyone drinking? Pina coladas, daiquiris. What takes the longest to get? Pina coladas, daiquiris, frozen drinks, food drinks, and stuff like that. So by tipping a little extra and saying, hey, can you bring another one back here in 15 minutes? Or, hey, can you make sure you come back around again? You know they're going to come back around again for you. So that's good. That's actually how I got into trouble at the pool party on the Sun Princess. because I got my I tipped a little bit extra for the Bloody Mary in the morning. And next thing you know, we had about 4 Bloody Marys, and the drinks did not stop. And
Is that when you were laying out there watching the Tai Chi?
Well, no. This was back at this. Well, actually, I apologize. This wasn't on Thumpers. This was on the Joy when we had our morning pool party on there. But same type of deal. You tip a little extra. I know this has turned into quite a tipping show.
Joe Cicato said, "Have you ever thought of going on a river cruise?"
Yeah.
We have. One day we'll probably go on one overseas. I don't have any desire to go on one in the U.S. here, like one of the river cruises, because I think it would be boring, and I just don't really have an interest in seeing those sights on a river cruise.
Yes.
Like, I don't know.
Great comment, Charles Hahn. Charles says a $5 tip might blur the line between plus and premier drinks. You're not wrong about that. On occasion, a little extra tip might get you that top shelf drink that you like, but usually it would cost extra.
Yeah,
maybe they throw that in for you to say thank you.
They're very lenient, like with the packages. For instance, we had the plus package, but with that, it's only for guests 1 and 2. So 3 and 4, which were the kids, they didn't have any kind of drink package, even though we had the plus package.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when we were either at dinner or if we were all together anywhere and the kids ordered a Coke, they never charged us for it. I guess they probably just put it on our package or whatever. But we never got charged separately for it,
which was nice.
And I think really there was only one time they actually charged one of the kids for a Coke when they weren't with us. Like, so it's just, you can go get as many waters as you want. Every night before I went to bed, I would go to one of the bars. I'd grab 4 waters.
Yeah, you can be like, hey, can I get a couple waters? You'd be like, how many? Can I get 4? Sure, boom.
Yeah, and stuff. So
that was awesome.
Yeah, so they're real lenient with that.
They were. Let's see. Love the Find Your Friends thing with the medallion, said Kathy. So Kathy, that was great. It came in very handy. Beauty and the Mom Travels. What's going on, Larry? My buddy is in the house. What's up? Steve Morales says, where's Jamie, the casino? I'm right here, Steve. I'm not in the casino. By the way, your caps lock is on if you didn't know it. Oh, I'm sorry. You live on. It's always on. Let's see. Oh, Kevin said, well, on the horizon, there were times when I wondered who I was, much less where I was. Sometimes you don't want to know where other people are, and that's good, too. Not only does that help, find your cabin person feature help you find somebody, but it can help you avoid them. Like, if you're like, hey, where's Sharon in the International Cafe? Cool, I'm going to go to the buffet. Yeah. Or something like that. You can work your way around it as well. That is a little secret, I guess I just gave away.
Speaking of the International Cafe, they had the best donuts on the cruise. Like, probably, I think 4 of the mornings I went down there and got donuts in the morning. I brought like a whole plate back for me and the kids. You
did. It was ridiculous. And I felt guilty because there were pieces of donut left. And I'm thinking about all the kids that could be eating donuts in other countries. And oh, my God. Beverly says, for the ladies' cruise, I noticed that you can buy internet either individually or you can buy one and have up to 4 devices. Could you share the devices? Or is it just per cabin?
You can, well, it's kind of in the cabin, but you can share your devices you can share your device with anyone. The only problem with that is whoever buys the package, everyone that logs into that package has to log in with your folio number and your birth date. So if you share them with other people that maybe you don't know them that well, you're going to have to give them your folio number and your birth date for that. That's the only thing.
And it's not the end of the world, but maybe they can also log in and try ordering room service. I mean, you never know.
We do that kind of
if
all
you trust
the time,
them, you can share it.
But we do it as a family. So
the nice thing about the multiple devices is, let's say you want to get on the laptop, but you still want your phone to be working, or something like that. You can do that kind of stuff. But for the same cabin or family, people cruising together, or maybe it's under one person's booking, then it's a lot easier to do it that way.
Oh, one thing we did do is we before we left, so we had Jamie and I both had the Wi-Fi with the Plus package. Mm-hmm. But if you do have Premier, you get like up to 4 devices per person. But we had Plus, so so Matthew really wanted the internet, so he always buys the internet himself on all of our cruises. Because he can't go without it. So
the beauty of being a young man, gainful employee.
So he purchased it beforehand. Mm-hmm. So when we got on the ship, well, then Callie was wanting it too. So we got on the ship, and when we logged in, the first time, it was saying we could get
Not the first time. It was the second day.
okay.
On day 2,
Oh.
all of a sudden it offered
It
a discount.
offered half. It was actually half off for up to 4 devices on me under mine. So we went ahead and did it. So then Callie had it, and then we could also log into the laptop and not have to log out of our phones if we want to be on the laptop.
Yeah.
But if I would have known that ahead of time, but you don't know because that's not something that they may offer on every cruise.
Yes.
Then I would have not had Matthew buy the internet because Matthew paid twice as much.
You could
for
have
his
just said
one.
wait till day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, usually to add from yours and add on to the Ford device, it's like an extra $160, which is not chicken feed. That's a good chunk of money. But all of a sudden it came on and it said, there's a special. You can do it for 50% off, $80. We're like, that's a little more reasonable.
Yeah.
And knowing that could get, Callie the internet, full internet the whole week and put her in a good place with that, we decided to pull the trigger on it. Sharon said, okay, make it happen. And thus we did. Let's see. What are we talking about? People are talking about, there's a little mashed potatoes and gravy talk. People are fans of that. It's one of the most popular drinks.
Someone else said any plans. Well, I can't see. I don't remember who said it, but someone said any plans for MSC or Celebrity. We will be on MSC maybe by the end of this year, early next year for sure. I don't know what ship. We're not booked yet, but we do have plans for that. Celebrity, I don't know. That's kind of down on the bottom more of our list. I'm not as interested in going on Celebrity as much right now. We will eventually go on it, but it's not at the top of the
Yes. Beauty and the Bum Travels did question any talk about Japan tonight. No, there was not any talk about Japan, but I did look into that though, but the 2027 summer or spring to summer, spring would be nice in Japan actually. Oh my God.
But those dates are not out yet on I don't think any of the cruise lines. But I was even thinking that might be nice on Princess. Princess does a lot of nice Japan.
Okay.
But we'll see. Yeah, they're not out yet, so
it's not a yes, it's not a no. It's somewhere in the middle.
Probably won't be out till closer to the end of the year.
And I've got a note for the Arizona contingency. For the West Coast contingency, for the people that like to get together in Arizona to say hi, hang out for a few hours, have a drink, some appetizers. I can let you know that I am tentatively looking at April, I think it's April 19th, the weekend of April 19th, as a possible get-together date. I will have it 100% confirmed here this week, and I'll post something in the Sharonatsea Cruise Crew on Facebook. So if you're not a member there and you're in Arizona, join that on Facebook. Join us on there. Share your cruising, pictures, experiences, all that stuff. But I'm looking at the 19th. I think that's a pretty good date. Somewhere around the same Westgate area, maybe a different bar this time. And I just need to go check the place out real quick that I'm thinking of and make sure that it'll work for us. Usually we can get anywhere from 15 to 25 people, give or take a few, to get together. So April 19th-ish, that weekend is what I'm looking at. And I'll have a little bit more information to finalize here in the coming days. So just mark your calendar, keep that in your back pocket. What you got?
Beauty and the Bum Travel said, I am thinking Iceland or Scotland over Japan. That's our other option, the British Isles or Japan. Those are the two that we're going back and forth between, actually. So let's see, Vonavi said...
Sorry, I'm moving the chat.
Oh, well, I think she said either one of those.
Yes.
But I can't read it because you just moved the whole thing.
I don't, because you gotta read the comment, then you gotta talk about it, and because if you read it while you go, you're gonna get in a pickle.
Yes, when you got your hand on the
Linda Land, what's going on, Linda Land? Lovely to see you. A Christmas market river cruise would be an awesome adventure, Sharonatsea Travel. Listen, I'm all for a Christmas cruise. But Sharon is worried that Santa won't find her.
Yeah,
and if Santa doesn't know where Sharon is, then we're all going to be in trouble.
I would love to go on a Christmas cruise, but I just can't bring myself to. I don't want to be away from home on Christmas Day. It's just, Christmas is a big
there's
holiday.
family, there's all these great kids and all that.
I love Christmas too much. I love all the decorating and all that, and
we need everyone to get older faster. Rhonda Carney, what's up? Says Celebrity is my favorite cruise line. Celebrity is still something that we want to try. We definitely want to try, so we'll see. Oh yeah, so Jamie Wilhite did say yes. Any news about the AZ meetup? So there you go, right on time for you, Jamie. So again, thinking about the 19th, I want to check out one spot really quick before I confirm it. And of course, I got to make sure there's no massive event at the Westgate. I think the one time I planned it and there was some huge event going on, and it just kind of all fell through regardless. I think that was the weekend that the pipe blew. It was like last year when the pipe blew outside of our house and we had the flood.
Oh, that's right.
The cars got flooded out.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
oh my God.
yeah, God, remember that? That was a hot mess.
That was.
I'm trying to forget that. Deborah A. 1999 said, thanks, Sharon. I've cruised on Celebrity and wanted to know how you think it compares to Princess. Planning to book MSC in 2026.
Yeah, we have, like I said, we haven't been on Celebrity yet. And I don't know, Jamie probably wants to go on Celebrity more so than I do, I guess. Well, because I hear if you're a big foodie that a lot of people like Celebrity. I'm such a picky eater. I'm not a big foodie person.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's not at the top of my list, maybe. Yeah. But we will go on it.
I mean, I find myself wanting more and more to try more and more new cruise lines. I've enjoyed branching out, new ships, new cruise lines. Even though like Holland America and Princess have proven to be pretty a much different vibe, but it's still kind of cool with it still.
Yeah.
I can have drinks, I can eat good food, I can relax because I'm really enjoying relaxing more than being very active on the cruises, which probably isn't good for my health, but I like it. So I'm digging some of these different cruise lines, and Sharon is proving she's a little more active. Sharon's like, oh, can we plan the, like if Sharon had her choice, she'd be like, oh, we're gonna go on a bike ride up the coast on our cruise, and I'm like, yeah, how about I just meet you at the pool deck? I mean, I don't want to go on a bike, I want to chill, relax, enjoy the vibe of the cruise and all that. So we are finding ourselves in some different places on there. So that is the truth. Steve Morales has called me a heathen, for God's sakes, and I don't even know why.
Cruising with Marcus said he can't wait for the group cruise in July with you guys and my parents, but I'm going on the Jubilee in May.
Oh, Marcus, that'll be fantastic.
That'll be great. You'll
Very
love
cool.
the Jubilee.
That will be fabulous, Marcus. And if you're coming with us, and we look forward to seeing you and meeting you, man, that'll be a great time. Let's see. Kathy Curry said 4/19 is April 19th, Easter weekend. Ooh, that might be a great way to get ready for Easter.
Oh, that's not good then.
Oh, no wonder. All right, no wonder it looked like there wasn't anything going on at Westgate if it's Easter weekend. Oh, I did see there were pictures with the rabbit. That might have been the giveaway. Well, we'll see what happens. Doesn't mean we couldn't do a Saturday afternoon get together, before we all head to church that night. All right, we're gonna work it out. Thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it. All right, I will get some final stuff about that. No wonder Steve said I'll be in church that weekend. I thought you were just kidding, because if you went into church, lightning would come down. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Timothy Welcher said we do in Vegas this year.
No, listen, Vegas proved to be an amazing time, but it just also proved to be so gosh darn expensive, and it's just brutal. So that kind of fizzled out a little bit, and the cruises came back, and that just
I'm going to have trouble this fall. I mean, I have the girls' cruise in October, and we do have a cruise in August, but the rest of the fall, I'm going to have trouble getting Jamie to cruise with me because I know it's football season, and this year, more than ever, he's going to be into it because he has season tickets to the Chargers. So he is going to be going over to California probably as much as he can for games. So,
John, I thought that was the secret. We were going to surprise everyone.
Why is that going to surprise them? I don't think they care if you're going to a Charger game.
I don't know.
So maybe I might have to cruise alone.
What? I will not be cruising alone unless it's a girls' cruise. Beverly says our cruise was nice on the Wonder, but I was a bit disappointed with the MDR. Food was okay, but the service was hit or miss. Some ways staff were better than others. The specialty dining was great, though. Wonder of the Seas, right? Royal is what she's talking about.
Yeah.
That's wild, because when we were on Icon of the Seas, our main dining room was unbelievable. Some of the best food I've ever had on a cruise in that main dining room. Debbie said we did British Isle last fall, also on Regal. It is a must-do for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we'll put that on the list. Make a list of and make a note of that.
We don't do 1 year, we can do the next.
Penny Quick said, what would you recommend to do in Roatan? I'll be there next week.
Oh, gosh.
Penny, we always recommend a company that our buddy owns, Real Deal Roatan Tours. You can book with them online. Great, reliable. They'll get you back to the ship in plenty of time.
And there's so many options. He has
Yes.
different tours. I mean, he will take you on just tours of the island. You can go, I don't know how many interactions you can have with the sloths right now. You can do that. He'll take you zip lining, horseback riding.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole sloth.
ATVs.
Seeing the sloths is a big deal.
Snorkeling. Like anything you want to do, he can take you.
That sloth thing is a little bit of right. Last we heard, Roatan is putting in place something that's going to take away the opportunity to hold the sloths, hold the monkeys, hold the parrots, and some of that kind of stuff. I did a video about it a couple weeks ago. The government's making some changes. Last I heard from Johan, nothing has changed yet, but it could just be like on a Wednesday they could be holding sloths, and on a Thursday they could say sorry, you're done. And I don't know if they're still fighting to get the more legitimate excursion companies to be able to do it, whereas the fly-by-night side of the road ones that aren't necessarily taking good care of the animals, maybe they're not. I'm not quite sure. So just keep an eye out if you're trying to do something with the sloths.
Yeah.
Otherwise, beach days, the thing that we just did in Roatan at Brady's Cay was an amazing thing that you could do with Johan. And we just like him because he'll pick you up. It is an outside excursion. So remember, when you leave the port, you're going to leave the port area. You're going to go up a little hill, over the top, down to the bottom. And that's where the vendors are. You can walk. You can take a taxi. And our most recent video gives you an idea how that whole process works. Sharon walks you through the whole thing. So look for our Brady's Cay video here.
We did hear that one kind of a reason somewhat behind all of this was, I guess, I'm not sure how far back, but there were some bloggers that went to one of the more fly-by-night type, or not one, like one of the not as nice, I guess, sloth places. And they didn't have the greatest experience, and maybe they saw things that didn't look that good. Well, they did a really bad bashing video on it. I guess it went viral or something from what I heard. And anyways, so that is what alarmed, I think, to a lot of this. And that may be one of the reasons that this all kind of came from. So that's why, like, all the clickbait, all the bashing, like, it's not, sometimes it can backfire and affect a lot of people.
It certainly can.
Stuff, so.
Sharon, I was going to ask you, on our recent cruise, did anything happen that was shocking? No? Did anything happen that we really weren't expecting? Not totally.
No, except for
Did we fall
sail
victim?
away, not on the Lido. But
Did we fall victim to any big scams?
No,
we didn't.
We always do our research.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how all these people that cruise 3 times a month can not know what to expect and fall victims of scams and be shocked at things. It's crazy. Doug Ollinger, what is up, Destroyer? Doug, Beth, hope you guys are doing great. And Doug, I'm looking at some times for a get together soon, and hopefully we can see you guys as well, because we got so many new restaurants here in Goodyear that we could go out for happy hour every day of the week and still not hit all of them. Yeah. So Julie Amos will go on the bike ride with you.
Oh yes, Julie. Okay, well, I have a biking partner.
There you go. Carolyn enjoyed the Buc-ee's shopping video. Thank you. We appreciate it. And we enjoy Buc-ee's, and I gotta say, I still don't know.
We went to Buc-ee's on the way home too.
Oh my god! And that's where I was turned on to the cheesesteak, the Texas cheesesteak burrito. I still forget who recommended it, but one of the greatest things I've ever put in my mouth in my lifetime. And I'm not lying when I tell you that. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Evan Brubaker says, I say we have a Bon Air meetup. That's a little far.
Yeah, that's a bit out of the way, but we'll work on it. Meetup in Nashville. Steve, I'm sorry, that's a little far rough. Too. Daniel Fields is throwing Vegas dates out there. We know you're going to be there for Nancy's birthday or something like that.
I think be in Vegas.
Yes, of course. Mr. Z, he was on the phone with Lindy Lou. Lindy Lou, we hope that she is feeling better. I know she has been not very well lately. So, Mr. Z, please, from all of us here
we're
to
keeping
you
her in
guys,
our thoughts and prayers.
Yes, give her a big hug from all of us, and tell her we love her, and we hope she's feeling better soon and getting back to her old self. Jim Hurst said, thanks for all the warm welcome. Alaska in May, enjoyed it so much last year, decided to go back again. Alaska will do that to you.
Yeah.
You'll be like, I don't know if I should go, and then you go, you're like, oh my god, I got to do it again.
Yeah, we love Alaska.
How many kidneys did Jamie sell to afford season tickets to the NFL? Crazy. Well, here's the beauty of a Crazy Cat Traveler. Since Sharon, I combined Crazy Cat Traveler and Sharon to get Karen. Or maybe I thought you were just being a Karen. Since Sharon opened up the box of it, so here's the beauty of it.
Hey, it was my idea though. It was my idea.
It's totally your
It was.
I don't think. I think we mentioned to you and you blessed it, so we knew we could go through with it. But the beauty of it is that when you have a son who works full time while he's going to school, and he saves his money diligently, and he loves football, you can split the costs. So from being 100% honest, Matthew and we split the costs of them. So he paid for half, I paid for half, like literally right down the middle, and we got the season ticket. So that was the amazing part. He's rocking. He's doing such a great job. He just got another promotion at work, and we couldn't be more proud of him. And he put the bill for half the tickets. So it makes it easier when he is so self-supportive like that. You know, he's paying for that truck now, his insurance. He's stashing money away. He's getting the ticket. I mean, it's unbelievable, and we're just blown away by it. So, I mean, I'm pretty soon Sharon's going to retire. Maybe he can just take care of both of us.
No.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think so.
Richard W. coming a little late. What's up, Richard W.? Nice to see you. Let's see. Have you guys thought about going on a Costa Cruise Line or AIDA Cruise Line? Not yet. We still have other ones that are a little more local and a little more our line of cruising that I think we still want to try. I want to do a little more Princess, a little more Holland, maybe a Celebrity. Try maybe a couple of other older royal ships. I'm gonna be on Mariner of the Seas here in about 2 months, and I'm super excited to be on that ship, and that's gonna be a great time. So I'm very excited about that. So Stephanie said, I'm trying to convince myself to go scuba diving with Johan's dive place and try the dive for beginners. Do it, Stephanie. Go out there and have a great time. Go out there and have a great time.
Yeah, I mean, just let them know, that how much of a beginner you are and things. And,
yeah, they'll take care of you.
You're a little nervous, and so that they're aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah, they will take care of you. And I can tell you this too. I mean, listen, I'm just going to throw it out there. There's a lot of talk of the U.S. and other countries are mad and don't like the U.S. now and all that kind of stuff. And there may be some of that in the government and all that kind of deal. But I'll tell you what, every place that we went this week, and even on our New Year's Eve cruise as well, I mean, we were welcomed with open arms. Okay, when we were in Belize, and our tour guide was like, "Listen, we love having you guys come here. Tourism is our number one boost to our economy, and we need it to survive. Yeah. So it's awesome."
Yeah, we drove all around Belize, and we went through some of the really rundown areas. Some of what they call their nicer areas.
Yeah.
We went all over the island, and
yes.
Yeah, no problems at all.
No problems there. And Roatan was fabulous as well. So that was all good. Obviously, hey, listen, Mexico, we're still going down there and have a good time. We're not going off the beaten path. We're not going to a club in the middle of the night, anything shady like that. So no worries, no issues. Go have fun. And everything will be A-okay, in our opinion. Julie Amos says, if you're in California, Sharon, I'll go on a weekend cruise with you.
Oh,
well, that's nice. Okay. So while Matthew and I are at a football game, you can go on a cruise with Julie Amos?
Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
I'll catch a ride over there with
That
you.
is not happening. Big G and Snuggles, what's up? Greetings, James, Shaza, and the clan. Sell those Charger tickets now, mate, while you still can get a refund. No. That's how I get tickets to the Super Bowl next year, being a season ticket holder. Come on, Big G and Snuggles. You know that. That's how it works. All right, what else we got here? Let me jump in. Oh my God, I want to go to Bonaire sometime. I have a colleague that moved there. Said, my Sharina. That sounds good. Destroyer said, sounds good. Let's try Bubba's. I'm all about Bubba's. Yeah. We've tried it once or twice, and I'm all about it.
I love it.
Kevin said, I'm on a diet, and there's Jamie talking about food. I am too, man. I am too. I have chubbed up. I know everybody notices. I'm sure listen, you remember 2 years ago, I dropped a ton of weight because I was getting ready. I went in and had a surgery, the whole 9 yards, and I've put on 25 pounds of that weight back like that easily. My second chin came back and said, hey, Jamie, I missed you, and I'm so glad we're together again. And, the other, my additional belly is back. the whole deal. So it is what it is. It's always a challenge. That's the beauty of getting old. And now that I'm not, going in and throwing 5-gallon buckets of paint around for 8 hours a day, my activity level is a little lower. So, it is what it is. Julie says, I love your Matthews work ethics. You raised them right. Julie, that is very nice. Thank you so much.
Julie.
We really appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you, being a friend of the family. So thank you for that. Hi, guys. What's the best advice for new cruisers knowing that your port day will include rain all day, said Captain's Table MDR? Well, first off, I wouldn't let rain stop us from having a good time.
Yeah, I would say it depends on the port, too, that it's raining in and what there is to do there. Because we have gotten off the ship before and on rainy days and still managed to have a good time, just depending on what we were doing. And also, there's days where we just stayed on the ship because it was raining and did other things indoors. So,
yes,
I would say it depends on where you're going.
Yeah, and sometimes you have a cruise, an excursion booked, and they might cancel the excursion if it is raining. So they'll let you know that ahead of time and get your refund if you book with the cruise ship, and then just stay on the ship.
One place we've run into rain a few times, and not all day, but Cozumel. A lot of times some clouds will blow through, depending on what time of year it is, and it'll rain for a while, but then it clears up and it's sunny again.
Listen, if you're ever worried about having fun in the rain, if you go back in our videos and you find the vlogger extravaganza video, when we brought about 350 to 400-ish people or so
that's right, it did.
to Paradise Beach Club in Cozumel.
That's right, it did rain.
It poured rain, and we had the best gosh darn time we've ever had. Yeah. It's in the rain. We are partying like rock stars, and it was what was it from a 2 year whatever? Yeah. So
as long as
January from 2 years ago, or whatever. It was a great time. Yeah. So watch that video, and you won't worry about it.
As long as the weather's not cold, it's it's warmer, rainy weather, and plan something in the water. You'll be fine. You're
That's
gonna
right.
get wet anyways. You'll be in the water.
There you go. So don't worry about it. Plan around the rain, and don't worry about getting wet. And if it is raining, just find a pool. Go to the beach, find a pool, and you'll be wet anyway. No big deal. Let's see. Joya DeFore says, do you ever use air flight consolidators for business class fares? I'm not sure I know what you're talking about, but we usually just fly economy anyway. Yeah. We're all about the cheap when we fly places. We use points, and that's how we get around with a lot of points.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we never fly business class. One time we got upgraded, but we never pay for.
Right. Carolyn said that's promising to hear with the politics versus tourism. Yeah, it really is. I mean, listen, you gotta just work through that stuff. You gotta work through that stuff, and hopefully you just don't let it bother you. And a majority of the people you run into, really, I don't know, couldn't care less. Maybe, hopefully. Irene and Catalina and our New Year's cruise crew had a great time, said Daniel Fields. Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. See, that happened that time. We just worked through it. Heidi said, my hubby is going back to a low-carb kind of keto. Stupid meds he's on and just can't lose. It's so annoying. Listen, I'm on the verge of getting my ordering Ozempic. I don't know. I mean, I'll do anything to shed a few more pounds. Get back to it. The problem is that when I lost all the weight last time, I bought a bunch of new clothes. I got rid of my old clothes because I told Sharon, I'm never going to need this again. And, of course, now a bunch of the clothes I bought won't fit me. And I could use something with a little more belt room.
Away, though. I think I was smart this time.
Well, we may have to dig. We may have to go into the attic. Question for my Sharina. Question on the girls' cruise. When we're at the private islands, the drink package doesn't apply, correct?
No, correct. It does not. And
correct.
Half Moon Cay or Celebration Key. Neither one.
There you go. But I will tell you this. If you want to talk about drink packages applying, if you do happen to go on... that's not it. Hang on. Oh my God, I can't find it. Where is it? This one. If you go on the Jimmy Jamboree, the drink package does work on Great Stirrup Cay.
Yeah,
So make sure that you book quickly. Your deposit is refundable. Shoot an email to this email address right here for all of your cruising needs. sharonatsea@gmail.com.
Yeah, so
and she can take care of you.
For all the
questions.
cruise lines, private islands, the Royal and Norwegian really are the the only ones off the top of my head that their drink packages apply on their private island.
Yes.
All of the Carnival brands, they do.
Even like Carnival's New Island Celebration Key, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be extra for drinks. It's just a weird deal. That's all I can tell you. Go to Paradise Beach in the rain, said Brian from Howie Cruise. That is the way to go. Let's see. What else? Yeah, that's right. Steve, if you're in the pool and it rains, you're still wet. And if you're outside in the rain and you're bathing, so you don't have to worry about finding a bathroom. But that's another conversation for another day. Carolyn said, Sharon, do you fold your family's clothes? It looked very professional coming out of the suitcases. Well, actually, Carolyn, she does.
And I do in the packing cubes. They're either folded a certain way or they're rolled, and then they're put in the packing cubes, so that when I pull them out of the packing cubes, they're not wrinkled. I have seen.
You are so meticulous.
I don't know if anyone here does this, but I have seen people pack where they just like shove all their stuff in the packing cubes and throw it in their bag, and I've never done that because I just felt like if I pulled it all out, everything would be a big wrinkled mess. I don't know if it is, but I always kind of roll or fold things, put them in the packing cubes. And then if there's anything extra that I need to put in the luggage that's not in the packing cubes, like a hoodie or something like that, I fold it and kind of lay it on top.
You are meticulously insane when it comes to you. Like if I say to Sharon, like, oh, here's something extra. Do you want to put it in this luggage? Like, no, don't open that luggage. Well, why? That luggage has this and this and this and this packing cube in it. Or like, she'll be like, okay, here's our packing cube for the night before the cruise.
Well,
here's our packing cube for embarkation day.
I put those in our carry-on so we don't have to get in our big
luggage. Those are separate, so you don't have to go in the big luggage, because if you have to open the big luggage, that can be an issue. And also, the big luggage will sit in our house open and unfolded until the last possible moment before we leave. Because if you fold the luggage, then the clothes have a few extra moments to get wrinkled. And also, you will place garbage bags between clothing items because it will minimize wrinkling with certain items.
Well, certain things I've done
and
that.
It works.
Instead of doing like a garment bag and things, like sometimes if I have a dress that's not like a fabric that is non-wrinkle, sometimes I've folded a bag, rolled it with a bag in there, because then when I take it out, it's not wrinkled. And it takes up way less room than buying a whole like garment bag for your dress and rolling that whole thing up with all getting all the air out and stuff.
I know. Yeah. Brian said, Jamie waiting for a tender with his beer in the rain. I would do that if I could. I wouldn't have a problem with it at all. Daniel Fields is the packing cube nut. Mary Ellen Dillon, what is up? Pearl Beach Club on Celebration Key has an included drink option, but that's separate from Cheers. Yeah. It is, and it'll cost extra, so you're still going to pay extra for drinks, if I'm not mistaken, Mary Ellen. And so you're still paying that.
So if you have the drink package, and then you have to pay again. Either way, you have to pay whether it's with the other package there at Celebration Key, or you're just buying a la carte. It's still additional. Yeah,
Steve says we don't cruise without cubes. He said that you do them. Ruth does them. They don't leave home without them. So Julianne said it's the same thing with hotel packing cubes, so you don't have to go through everything. I guess it's a thing. Yeah. And Sharon will pack for me because she has this thing where she doesn't want me to get somewhere and be wearing like clothes that are a mess, and it'll embarrass her. Well, she takes so much pride in the packing. It's unbelievable.
And we get somewhere, and then we're unpacked, and then we're going to go to dinner or something, and your things are all wrinkled. Then you're going to ask me, oh, can you go find somewhere to iron these at, or can we send them out to have them ironed?
Hold on,
and I'm like,
Sharon,
I don't want to deal with all that.
My love.
I don't want to deal with that on vacation.
You think that I would say, can you find somewhere to iron this?
Yes, you would. Well,
stop it. I couldn't care less about if something's ironed or not. You would care less. You would care about it, but I don't think I would. Let's see. Shaza, do you still pack the clothes for them? You really need to focus on those deliveries at the door. She does. She handles everything. She packs it, and she packs it on the last day too. I just put it, so it's ready to go when we get home.
Well, everyone gets their clothes out. Like everyone sets their clothes out somewhere for me that they want to bring.
Yeah.
Good
night to you, buddy.
I don't pick things out. Everyone sets their stuff out somewhere, and then I just actually fold it and put it in the packing cubes in the luggage.
Daniel Fields, no more Garanimals for me. I don't wear Garanimals, but on occasion my Aquaman underoos will make it on the trip.
Okay.
But that's for me to know and no one else to find out. Yes, Michelle M said I pack the same way. Packing cubes are the best. Thanks for the garbage bag tip. Don't know that tip. I will try it. I don't know how. I don't know what it does. I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
it just doesn't.
I just take those white, like, kind of kitchen bags, the smaller ones, and I'll just kind of lay it, like if I'm laying a dress out that's really wrinkle, and then I lay the bag in it, and then I roll it. So as you roll it, the bag rolls like with it, and the, I guess the slickness, of the bag, it just prevents wrinkles.
And when she unpacks it, those same bags she will use as liners in the drawers in the ship, so that there's something on the drawer on the
then
drawer
I always
for the clothes and the
then I always
sit
put
on
those
top
in
of.
the drawers, so that when I put our things in the drawers, they're not on the drawers. That's why I don't have to worry about like cleaning them if someone left something dirty or whatever. I put those there. And then the third thing I use them for is then when I get ready to pack to go home, I put our dirty laundry in those bags and squish it down really tight, and then I put like all the dirty laundry in a couple of our suitcases between the four of us, and in the other two suitcases I put all of our clean things or things that aren't dirty or souvenirs or whatever in the other two.
And then after the cruise, those bags go back in the closet at home, and then we use them in the garbage can.
Yeah.
There is not a family in the world getting more value for a freaking garbage bag than Sharon at Sea Travel. Yes, it is not just a 10-cent bag. You're getting dollars and of value out of it.
You gotta buy quality bags though to do that.
It is insane. It is insane. Last week on my second half of my back-to-back on NCL, they canceled 2 ports because of rough seas. So NCL gave us an extra 50 plus port charges back. I mean, that's NCL's tightwads about that stuff, notoriously.
Yeah, but hey, you got something. So
but Sugar said, to me, it wasn't rough, but, you got to be safe. Yeah, no, I mean, there's plenty of people say, you just want to cancel the port so that we spend more money on the cruise ship as a sea day. And I'm like, come on. I don't think that's the case. I only use the packing cube, so when I have to open my luggage, when it's overweight at the airport, I'm not embarrassed. Say, Carol,
yeah,
that's a great idea.
You can always pull a packing cube out, stick it in another carry-on bag or something, and go.
You can just tuck it into your pants and get on the plane with that. So, packing for a trip is much harder than packing to return home. We usually have a dirty clothes suitcase, clean suitcase, and whatever is left suitcase. Beverly, you're absolutely right. Well, Sharon will organize every bag will have a certain load: lights, darks, hot water, cold water, mine, hers, the kids, whatever. However she's breaking it up.
I do that because when we have those foldable laundry baskets that we bring and put in the room. Mm-hmm. So when I'm ready to pack all the dirty stuff to go home, as I'm pulling it out of the laundry basket, I just kind of make like a couple piles of darks, the lights, whatever, that kind of stuff. And so then I just put them in the laundry bags that way too. So when I get home, I just throw the bags actually out of this luggage. I just go toss them in the laundry room. Mm-hmm. And then when I do laundry, I just take the bag and throw it in, and it's already sorted. I don't have to sort the laundry.
Big G Snuggles, I'm not surprised. Shaza Cruz question: do you also pack the Skid Row undies when going home? That's very funny, Big G and Snuggles. But I will think. Hold on, I know that's Big G and that's not Snuggles. But I will say this: that Sharon always loves to comment and say that, boy, my bag of dirty clothes always seems to smell a lot worse than anyone else's. And I don't know what to tell you. Maybe that's the truth. I'm not sure. Sharon, you know that we've been. I will tell you that this is our first show doing after the time change, right? So we do 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Here. Yeah.
So half of the year we start at 7 o'clock our time, which is a little bit later. 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific. But now we're on the same time as California, so we start at 6. So here we always try to do about an hour. Here we are. It's been an hour and almost 45 minutes since we started, and we're just rolling on, having a lovely time. So let's do a few more here before we boogie on out of here. Mr. Z said we got a future cruise credit from Carnival because we had to disembark in Aruba. Well, that was nice of them instead of saying you're screwed. That's so that's good stuff. Hopefully you guys can use that in the future. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for you guys. Let's see. B-Satan67, what's up, buddy? I could never fold. We got a folding board at Amazon. They're around $15. They're awesome. It makes stacks of clothes quick and easy to fold. Not a bad idea. You can bring that on your cruise and fold up your stuff when you're done. And listen, if something's on this last cruise, you actually had a little bit of you did a little laundry because we
I
had a complimentary laundry. Oh well, no, you did some laundry at the laundromat. You love the laundromat right across from our cabin.
Well, yeah, we had the complimentary laundry, but I didn't use it because they said it would take 3 days to get the laundry back, and I was like, yeah. We actually were right across the hall from the laundry room, and I noticed that when I booked the room, and I thought that'd be kind of convenient. But I normally don't do laundry on a cruise because I don't like to do laundry on my vacation. But there we had a lot of things that were kind of damp and wet. It's just it was really humid and just from being out in the water, everything. Yeah. Anyways, and I didn't want to pack all that stuff to go home, and then the kids threw some of their wet stuff in with their dirty other clothes, so they got their other clothes wet a little bit.
Those kids.
So I was like, okay, so I went ahead and did one night. I did a couple loads of laundry in the laundry room. I thought, I'll try it out. So it was really convenient, and it worked out great.
Riding with Larry, what's going on, buddy? Hope you and Diane are doing wonderful. Our room stewards will use their vacuum for the vacuum bags. Yes, you brought the vacuum bag and brought the little
I've done that.
The air out and crush everything down and fit the luggage.
I've used those before too for things. We used those. I think we used those when we went to Alaska once, and I think to Europe when I really wanted when we took like jackets and things that were a little bulkier, and then I packed them that way, and then when we came back, I did put some dirty laundry in those too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Linda Land says, West Coast here. We still haven't started dinner. I know, right? I'm going to eat dinner after the show. It's only 7:40 here. But we have gone on, and we covered a lot for the Regal Princess, but we still have some more videos coming out for the Regal Princess, so keep your eye on that. Belize video, Nachi Cocon video, maybe formal nights. Cruise ship tour will be there. What to do on a sea day, maybe something like that. Possibly likes and dislikes. Although there were less dislikes on this one than on the last one, so that was kind of cool. And
it's hard, it's funny because doing those kind of videos, like sometimes it's hard for us to think of. Like there might be a couple things that aren't our favorite, but it's hard to find real, like truly dislikes on cruise for us because we always enjoy ourselves and make the best of things. So
I agree.
It's hard.
I agree. And one thing I just noticed is as it got darker outside, I think we became darker in here. Even though we have lights on. So I'm just looking and I'm like, there's no light coming from any windows, from other windows in the room. So hope it didn't get too dark for you guys here. But listen, that's kind of a wrap for us. We're wrapping up the show here. We appreciate everybody coming, joining us for a little cruise chat on a Monday night. Sharon, when might we be live again? Do you know? Do you have a calendar? Do you need to have a calendar in front of you?
We will be live in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, we will be live. 2 weeks from now. Are you sure about that?
Is that the 7th?
Let's see. What is today's date? Today is the 24th. So the 31st. Okay, yes. So you're saying April 7th will be 2 weeks from now, and that's when we'll be live again? And who knows, maybe at that time we'll have something exciting to talk about that we don't even know is going to happen yet.
Maybe.
See what happens. Just have to stay tuned. If that's not a hint, I don't even know. I don't know what to tell you guys. But if you're not paying attention now, you weren't at all. All right, listen, it's been great. We appreciate everybody being here. We thank you so much for your time, for hanging out. Sorry we went so late tonight. We'll try to cut it back to being short. It's like the old days. We used to roll for 2-3 hours because we just keep yapping with you guys, but we love doing it. So thank you again. Contact Sharon to book all your cruises. Make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're new here watching tonight, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it very much. And until next time, from all of us here at Sharonatsea Travel, to all of you, from me, Sharon, Callie, Matthew, from Lucy, and everything.
Where's the chat?
What do you? Oh, you want to see the chat?
Well, I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sitting there saying goodbye, and I got to hit the other button.
But okay.
Yes, I remember the good old days, said Nautical Nurse Nancy. People saying have a great evening and all that kind of stuff. Will it be shocking? Nancy, it might be shocking. It might be a scam. It might be something we weren't expected. It might be something where we got something and they followed us and then they did this and we couldn't believe it. I don't know what it'll be, something like that. Or maybe it'll just be we had a great time on our cruise and we just want to share it with you. Somewhere in there is what it'll be. Jamie will hide. It's okay that you were late. We still love you, and we appreciate you as always. So you guys have been great. Thank you so much. Just don't quit. Oh yeah, that's another one. Oh, yeah. We're quitting. Channel update. We can't do it anymore. No, it won't be any of that. It won't be any of that. So I learned Jamie wasted money on charter tickets. I meant spent money. How dare you, Bonnaby? That is uncalled for. And I learned that Jamie is the boss in the car. Well, the music boss. Otherwise, I still have to keep it low. And but if I look over and Sharon's like this, then I know I can turn up the music a little bit and sing along, and then it's all good. And that it's all good. All right, listen, you guys are amazing.
Thanks again, Nancy.
Yes, we love you. Thanks for being here, Nancy. Leanne, I hope you enjoyed your dinner. Hope you had some good cutlets. Listen, I love. We haven't had any trolls in like forever.
Yeah.
I think it's because of how the subscriber feature's set to comment, or maybe they just got tired of us because we didn't give in to them, or maybe they're just scared of Nancy and Leanne and they know better. So whatever it is, but we love it. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks everybody for joining us. And until next time.
We'll see you in a couple weeks. Good night,
We will
everyone.
see you in a couple weeks. Hold on, I gotta make sure I got the right thing. Is this the right button here? How about this? Boom. That's the one. We'll see you.